History teaches us that when times are tough, you need great leadership. Julius Caesar, Abraham Lincoln, Winston Churchill, Martin Luther King, Margaret Thatcher, Nelson Mandela, Mikhail Gorbachev, Ronald Reagan. Unfortunately, as the world descends into crisis, with the powder keg of the Middle East about to erupt, who do we have in post as the leader of the free world, the commander-in-chief of the biggest military on the planet? Slow-mo Joe himself, Joe Biden, a man so decrepit he wouldn't even make it into the cast of Dad's Army on the grounds of age and infirmity. Now, let's be honest, with his mad ramblings, he delivers more comedy clips than you've been framed. Here are just a couple from the last 24 hours.
We will defend every inch of NATO which the treaty requires and calls for. We'll have something that we do not seek. Make it clear, we do not seek. We do not seek to have American troops fighting in Russia. Virtually every mass shooting, every circumstance where a large number of people have been victimized and lost.
Very sad and worrying, to say the least. Let's have a look at the president's in tray, shall we? At home, crumbling cities, lawlessness, a public health crisis caused by obesity, epidemic levels of drug use, a government mired in so much debt it makes Bernard Madoff look positively prudent, and race relations at their lowest point since the 1950s. What about his challenges abroad? Well, Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine, which is spiking energy and food prices, costing lives and destabilizing the region. There's a hot mess that is Afghanistan, from which Biden exited America in the most ignominious and expensive way, leaving billions of dollars worth of military equipment in a mineral-rich country, which is now run by effective gangsters. Yeah, the disastrous departure from Afghanistan happened on Slow-Mo Joe's watch. There's the growing power, economically and in military terms, of China, who looks set to overtake America in both departments in the years to come. Joe Biden has to work out what to do as an increasingly belligerent Beijing casts its avaricious eyes over Taiwan. And then there is the Middle East, with the worst terror attack on Jewish people since the Holocaust and a death cult in the form of Hamas, whose supporters pervade the Middle East, with the dangerous Iranian regime among its biggest cheerleaders. Perhaps it wasn't such a great idea for Joe Biden to pump billions into Iran after all. In what is a dark time for America and the world, we need great leadership in the White House. Instead, we've got a guy that gets lost on his way into that famous building. Of course, it's not Joe Biden's fault that he is in cognitive decline, but it's an existential problem for the West. Would the botched Afghanistan exit or Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine have happened under stronger leadership? Let's be honest, Putin is hardly afraid of Biden, is he? In my view, having this confused, doddery kid sniffer in charge is an open door to all tyrants to have a go and try their luck. His supporters say that his health doesn't matter. He's got good people around him, apparently. Is that how democracy works? Did the American people vote for a bunch of interns, backroom boys and policy wonks to actually run the country? Do you remember the good old days, like under Reagan, when the president was actually in charge? Joe Biden's tenure in the White House is an accident waiting to happen. It's bad news for America and it's bad news for the world. Joe Biden must be removed from power on the grounds of ill health. These are dangerous times. America deserves better. The world deserves better. Joe Biden shouldn't be sat in the Oval Office. He should be sat in a care home, nursing a lukewarm cup of tea, watching reruns of the Golden Girls, who look like sprightly teenagers compared to this mumbling, incoherent bag of bones. If Joe Biden is actually running the country, then I'm a Spice Girl. Posh Spice, obviously. Sometimes scary. This is an emergency. Slow-Mo Joe has got to go.